And we're going to check today's daily math. So the first two problems that you have are division problems. And division's not something we've talked a lot about yet, so these are still practicing, getting us thinking about what's happening. So let's look at this first one. We have 934 things, and we want to divide or split them up into 5 equal groups. So I'm going to show you the box method of solving division. So I've got 935, and I'm going to split those kind of like I would if I had a place value chart. I'm going to split them into, sorry, not 935, 934. I'm splitting them up into their place values like if I had a chart. So now I'm going to think about, when I'm dividing, I'm thinking how many times could I put 9 things into 5 groups? I know that I could put 9 things into 5 groups one time. That would use 5 of them, and I would have 4 left over. So I'm going to move my 4 that I have left over, because those are 400s. So I can regroup those to the to the tens place. And now I would have 43 tens. So how many times could I put 43 things into 5 groups? I know 8 times 5 equals 40. So I could give each group 8. That would use 40 of the 43 that I have. So I would have 3 left over. And I'm going to take those 3 tens, and I'm going to make those into ones. So now I have 34 ones. And if I divide 34 things into 5 equal groups, I know that 6 times 5 is 30. So I could give each one of my groups 6, and I would have 4 left over. So my answer is 186, remainder 4. And we'll be working on a lot more division, so if you don't completely get that right now, it's okay. Let's look at the next one. We have 269 divided by 4. So I have 269 things, and I want to break them apart into 4 equal groups. Here's another strategy that I like to use. I didn't do this earlier because we were dividing by 5, and we all can skip count by 5s pretty easily. But if it's a number that's not as easy to skip count, or I don't know my facts as well, one of the things I like to do is I like to go ahead and write down the multiples or skip count by the number of groups. So I'm going to write down 4. 4 times 2 is 8, and you could even write what you're multiplying by up above it. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 times 4 is 32. And 9 times 4 is 36. I can go ahead and write 10 times 4 is 40, but we won't need that 10. So that just, I can go back now and I can look at that as a reference so that I don't have to spend so much time trying to figure out the facts that go with what I'm dividing. So back to my original problem, I have 269 things, and I'm splitting those into 4 equal groups. So I'm putting those numbers on my place value chart. 269. Switch colors here. All right. So I have 2 hundreds, and I need to put 2 into 4 equal groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have 2 things to put into those groups, I can't do that evenly. So I'm not going to be able to put any. So I'm going to have to take my 200s, and I'm going to move them over and make them into 20 tens. I'm regrouping them, making them tens. So now I've got 26 tens to put into 4 equal groups. So I'm going to come up here and look I want to know how close I can get to 26 without going over. So 4 times what gets me as close as I can get to 26, but I can't go over. And I'll show you why in just a second. So if I look, 4 times 6 gets me 24. But 4 times 7 is too much because I would have to have 28 to put 7 in each group. So my answer here is going to be 6, and I'm going to show you why. So remember, we have 26 things to divide into 4 equal groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. These two right here, I don't have enough to put into each group to keep them even. But if I look at my 4 groups, there's 6 in each group. So remember, we said that 26 divided by 4 up here equaled 6. And I have 2 left over to get from 24 to 26. I have 2 extra. Okay. So now I've regrouped those 2 extra and made them into 21s. Now I have 29 ones. So I'm looking for 4 times what number gets me as close as I can get to 29 without going over. So if I look right here, we have 4 times 7 equals 28. So I can put 7 into each group and I will have 1 left over. Let's look at that. So in our groups, we already have 24. So if I start adding another, I've got 24 already, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now I've got 7 in each group and I have 1 left over. So 67, remainder 1 is the correct answer for the second division problem. Remember, I told you if you're not comfortable with these yet, that's completely okay. Right now, we're just thinking about the numbers and thinking through some strategies. Now, let's go on to number 2. We're comparing the numbers. In A, we have 13,817 and 13,975. So to compare numbers, I always start with my largest place value.
Hi, Sarah. I'm your assistant.
I have 1 10,000 in each of those numbers. That's equal. So I'm going to have to go and have to check my next largest place value. I have thousands. In my thousands place value, I have 3 each. So that's also equal. So we'll go on to my hundreds. I have 8 hundreds and 9 hundreds. I know 9 hundreds is more. So I will say 13,817 is less than 13,975. I need to fill in the less than oval. For B, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to compare my largest place value. 2 10,000s, 2 10,000s. That's the same. So I'll go to the next place value, which is 9,000 and 8,000. 9,000 is more. So the correct answer to B is greater than. 29,001 is greater than 28,999. Number 3, we have an addition problem and a subtraction problem. So we'll solve the addition first. We've got 70,294 and 25,653. And we are adding those. So I'll add my ones place value first. 4 plus 3 is 7. 9 plus 5 is 14. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 6 is 9. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 7 plus 2 is 9. So the correct answer is 95,947. Next, we'll do the subtraction. We have 64,202, and I'm taking away 21,987. If I have 2, I cannot take 7 away, so I need to come over and regroup some tens, but I don't have any tens, so I'll have to come all the way to the hundreds. Now I have 100 left, and I'll need to regroup that 100 into tens. It gives me 10 tens, but I need to take one of those tens and make them into ones. So now instead of 2 ones, I have 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. Then I go to my tens place. 9 minus 8 is 1. If I go to the hundreds, 1 minus 9, I can't do that, so I'm going to regroup. I'm going to take one of my thousands and make it into hundreds. So now I have 11 hundreds. 11 minus 9 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 2. And 6 minus 2 is 4. So the correct answer to the second question is 42,215. Next, it asks us which arrangement comes next. So if I look at the pattern here, I have one row and one column. Then in the next one, I have 2 rows and 2 columns, 3 rows and 3 columns, 4 rows and 4 columns. So what would come next? Of course, it would be 5 rows and 5 columns. So I need to find the one that has 5 going across and 5 going down. And the correct answer is option 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows or 5 columns, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Option 2 is your correct answer. So then it asks you for the next one. It's asking you to describe the pattern. What's happening in that pattern that we just looked at? Of course, we're adding one column and one row. Number 5. Identify the correct word form and expanded form for this following number. So remember, when I'm naming a number in word form, I'm going to name my 100,000s, my 10,000s, and my thousands together. Then at the comma, I'll say the word thousand, and then I'll name my hundreds, tens, and ones together. So I'm going to name everything between the commas. So 409, my comma tells me to say 1,000. Then I name everything else 827. So 409,827. That second choice is correct for word form. Then whenever I put this number into expanded form, I'm going to write the value of each digit. So first I have a 4 in the 100,000s place value. So that'll be 400,000. Plus I don't have any 10,000s, so I don't have to write anything there. And then digit 9 is in the thousands place value. So I'll put plus 9,000. Plus my next digit is 8 in the hundreds place. So 800. Plus I have 2 in the tens place and 7 in the ones place. So 400,000 plus 9,000 plus 800 plus 20 plus 7. The middle choice of expanded form is the correct answer.